Good morning and namaste, my friend. Welcome to Namaste Today in the Zodiac weather. My name is Stepº7 Witecki. I am the sensei to Sirius joy, here to stand in my heart and walk in the light. Such a pleasure to light walk with you today down this road. I'm love casting live in 5 dimensions on this beautiful Temple of Gaia on Thursday, February 26th, 2015. And I have chosen here the Garden of the Gods in Colorado as our beautiful scape, because today we are in the all holy of holy vibrations. Step 7 rules the day. Step 7 rules the day in the sign of Step 7, and it's also conjuncting the crystal of 7, also known as Neptune. So we're in a 777. If you ever wonder what the 777 was you see in Vegas and some sort of strange draw you have to 3 sevens, today you're about to experience it. I think you'll find it's very subtle. Very, very subtle. The more powerful the godlike energy is, the more subtle it is to connect to. So I predict a very subtle day, a very quiet day, but a day of connecting to your higher self. And I'll give you some tips and even a meditation on how to do that. But before we connect to our holy higher self, let's first tame our brain, shall we, with the phrase of the day. I am mindful of my feelings today. That's the first half. And listening for more. That's really what the mind's job is today. I am mindful of my feelings and listening for more. Now, this is really the approach to psychic awareness in general, being mindful of your feelings. All spiritual communication happens through feeling. All spiritual communication happens through feeling. If a priest or a minister ain't feeling it, they ain't communicating. It's that simple. You have to be feeling it. So I'm mindful of my feelings today and listening for more. Listening for the next feeling that comes up and, of course, just observing it today. Just observing. So I'm mindful of my feelings and listening for more. And so it is. I thought so. Now, the serious step of the day is a step 7. And that translates to Neptune energy, that translates to Pisces energy, that translates to the 7 of Cups, if you know the Tarot. So it is the same energy, basically, expressed in different ways or read in different disciplines across metaphysics. And today we are logging into this vibration 100%. I think we'll be brought into this vortex. I don't think you can escape it. Hopefully, things will become peaceful. But sometimes when absolute peace is brought as a blanket on the earth, it actually releases a lot of pent-up rage or a lot of pent-up sorrow. Because the peace is, you're so seduced into peace, you let go. You just let go of it. And that's a good thing. That's necessary. If that's where you are today, that is what's necessary today. So the way this works out in the architecture of incarnation is 7 comes up in magical times here as we climb up our architecture. We're now at step 7, Pisces, so we're at the very beginning, which is where we connect to our own sense inside of us. Everything in the first 11 steps is the relationship to ourself. Then when we're working on the relationship to others and working with others, we then use our sensory perception before we make a decision. So we love and trust what we sense there, and we have to stand on this sense that we're creating now. Then we're in the high master degrees of 27. This is right before we bed it all. And right before we bed it all, we feel it and we sense. At this point, you're talking to God, okay? If you are in this much 777, right? So this is how we align our architecture. Let's look at the chakras involved. The chakras are our colorful tuning fork. So it's very simple today, really, to be a success and log into your higher self. We want to be conscious of the purples, and we want to be conscious of the yellows. And we want to clear really yellow. So if you're going to do any breath work, do it through your yellow chakra and clear all your emotions from the past, that's the back of you, and clear all of your emotions to the forward of you, which is releasing expectations, anxieties, emotional attachments to outcome, right? And that allows us really kind of to see without inner currents within us. So let's take a look now at the cosmic clock. So, looking at what time it is up there in the stars, the big deal here is this. God is Neptune in a sense. It's one of our connections to God. I'd say we have two primary connections, the heart and the seventh state of awareness, this Pisces-Neptune energy. So today the sun has conjunct Neptune, and Neptune, which is the broadcaster of seven, the crystal of seven, the big chunk of rock and ice that holds seven as a tone for us, as a note, if you want to look at it that way. Today, it is at step 7. No accident that Neptune's at step 7 when we cross. This is the 7777777. This basically opens up the portal, which I call really the stairway to heaven. Now, Mercury, what are we thinking about? Integrity at step 11. So mind is an integrity. That means you are mindful of how you feel. Because 1 + 1 makes 2, I feel. So if you're mindful of your feel, you're mindful of your integrity. If something's off, go in and fix it, come back out. Okay? That's how it works. Fix it as in, we'll be okay, let's just move on. Okay. That's all you need to do, not like go to the shrink or anything today. Then, we are still being haunted here. All right? We are being haunted by our past, haunted by our past accusations, and haunted by past life witch trials, I think, too. Some people have been sensitive to my use of the word witch. I'm sorry. But it is that part of us, literally, that's haunting us, and there's no better metaphor than that. There are good witches and bad witches. These are the parts that hurt us, and it's time for us all to let go of things that haunt us. Whatever has killed you in the past is in the past now. And that's what today is. Today is really letting go of these shadows, right? Because these all line on the other side of the sun connecting to God. So we're letting go of this. These things are our anchors. They keep us from ascending, all right? And this is our little stairway right here. We have this stairway straight from here all the way to Pisces, climbing up. And Earth is also at surrender. So when you say, I'm not going to be afraid of these things anymore, well, what are you going to do? Right? Because your consciousness needs a new instruction at that point. Well, what will you do? Well, I'll give it to God. That's where the give it to God part comes. At the moment when you turn away from something that is not of the light, you turn to the light at that moment. That's the most important moment to turn to light. That light is heart, love, the sense of peace within you, the sense of knowing within you. That's what we turn to whenever we see a shadow. All right? Don't worry about turning your back to it. That's the faith, right? That you won't get stabbed in the back. So listen to that part of you today. Now here is a little doozy right here. These two are on approach. You see this? Now Venus has taken the lead. So I love it how the woman is now moving forward. But this to me is almost magical, metaphorical for what's truly happening. As we approach this Uranus, the purple arrow at step 14, that means that we are opening up to Uranus at this point. Mars, where it should be the man behind the woman, supporting the woman, at step 5 today. So intellectually, we're strong and we're open. Where's Venus? Step 7, joining the step 7 parade. Accident? I don't think so. Our self node is at 10. That's our old ego holding on. All right? And what's going to happen is once one surrenders to their stairway to heaven and lets go of their dead weight, their emotional baggage, the stuff that just really can't come up to this next level anyways, has no place in the new house, these two guys, guy and girl, are ready to slingshot. That's basically the Uranus orb is right there. Uranus reaches down. There's like a gravity vortex there. So as soon as you say yes, it's whew, you are slingshot, I think, forward to the new you, the new of who you are becoming. And you have both the sperm and the egg there, Mars and Venus. So we are really ready to slingshot into a new self. Today the sun is on Neptune, and that is step 7, the king of 7 in the sign of 7, Pisces. This is, oh, Poseidon, as much as in grand as Poseidon can get today. Okay? And so we are energetically connected to our higher self in those 3 dimensions. And Chiron, which is the representation of 11, integrity, that what Mercury is trying to stand in today. Chiron is also at 7, but at a high note 7, step 16. That's a higher 7. 1/6 is a higher 7. So at a higher note, we have healing. So we have the ceiling of healing, I like the way that sounds, being held as we open up at the same time. This is also our ascension basically in place as far as I'm concerned. So now for the Sensei Sunrise, I have a little special treat for you. We're going to do a little guided meditation to help you along your ascension today, right after this moment. So I brought us to this little spring. This is a meditation on connecting to spirit, and this is me starting to share some of my own personal techniques that have worked really well for me, practiced long and diligently. I have been personally a practicing Buddhist for about 20 years, actually, over 20 years. I've had a Gahanzen, as they say, for almost 18 years. So I've been I've had a spiritual practice that I've always kept to my side. I really recommend that everyone have a spiritual practice. I believe that all spiritual practices lead to enlightenment and to our heart, and I think a practice makes master. That's why I say practice makes master. We must practice uniting the mind, body, and spirit, and I make it a practice to unite my mind, body, and spirit every day. And I'm going to share with you today how I do it and show you the architecture of doing it so you can insert any of your personal practices or personal choices of like in those little spaces, because to me it's about holding certain notes vibrationally, and the great thing about step astrology is it tells us precisely the notes to hit. So actually I'm going to take it back a slide. Yeah. This is basically the 11 steps to Sirius joy. The 11 steps to Sirius joy are the awakening of all the states of awareness. We have 12 states of awareness, 12 states of knowing that you're alive. You know you're alive by a boundary. You know you're alive by step 1 if you feel love. You know you're alive by feeling. You know you're alive by believing. Belief is a whole collective consciousness part of us. Belonging is where we yo-yo into the crowd. And then thinking, we know our thoughts. Everyone knows the state of intellect and the state of giving and receiving. These are all states. And in essence, being aware of all these states and being aware of where they all, how they all relate to your heart is the essence of enlightenment. So knowing the states and knowing how they relate to your heart is how you create enlightenment, or what I call Sirius joy. So what I do each day is I awaken all the states and I say hello to them in my own little way. And that's my heart, my inner child saying hello. So it is my inner child that goes to church, so to speak. Now today, those are the three, basically the 3 bells before meditation. But today, what I want to take us up to is step 7, I sense. And I'm going to walk you through the architecture of how you do this with your own meditation, and use my own practice of Gongyo as kind of a background to this. So it's just an introduction to it. I recommend that you find something that resonates with your soul and pulls you in. I really recommend something verbal, because when you speak or sing a hymn or chant out loud, and there's many Tibetan chants, there's many India chants from all the Hindu religions and the Sanskrit, the ancient Sanskrit religions. There's like so many. There's Hawaiian chants. There's so many chants that call you into your heart, and that's what's important, something that calls you into your heart. I think I've lived as a Buddhist in past life. I know I have, and so this resonates for me in a multi-lifetime perspective. So I'm going to walk you through it, and the first thing you always do is you have some sort of awakening to the 3 dimensions. Those first 3 dimensions are I protect, I love, I feel. I protect, I love, I feel. And in essence, that's what we want to do, is protect, love, and feel all the other states. So the first 3 states want to bless the rest of the states. That's the architecture of this particular meditation. So I'm gonna do what I call Daimoku here for a second, which introduces each of the 3 states. That would be protect. That would be love. That would be feel. So basically, I go through like that with some with intention of filling my heart with love and protecting and loving and feeling each state. I protect, I love, I feel. And I climb, basically, with like some sort of chant going on in the background, because that allows me to kind of surrender to my spirit. So for me, being in a chorus of chanting is just wonderful. And I'll share this chant on the NamasteToday.tv site if you guys wanted to use. It's totally yours. It's not even mine. I'm sharing something that works. But so you move up to the states, right? So we go up to love. So it's I protect, I love, and I feel my love, right? And then I protect, I love, and I feel my feelings, all right? And you protect and love and feel your beliefs, and protect and love and feel your belonging. And you might go, where's your belonging? I belong to be on that stage, that one. So wherever you belong, that's what you basically protect, love, and feel. I feel it, I love it, and I'm protecting it. Nothing bad happened, all right? And then we get to I think, all right? So this is us telling the mind, protect my thoughts from thoughts that don't support it, loving thoughts only, and I feel my thoughts. Let the two talk together. Then we protect our giving and receiving. Nothing bad happens in the exchange, please. I love giving and receiving. It's so much fun. It feels so good, right? So we're awakening each dimension as we climb the tower of truth, is what I call this. And then we finally get to I sense. This is where we connect to God consciousness. And it happens by doing the final I protect my connection to the other side and everything unknown. I love my connection to the other side and everything unknown. I feel my connection to the other side and everything unknown. And basically in that state, you stay in that state of feeling. And you can ask a question, or you can just like sit in that feeling for a while, because just giving yourself 7 minutes in that feeling will keep it open all day long. That's my experience. And so if I'm quick on the go, I will at least try to have 7 minutes in the 7th state and just listening. But I also start to ask questions in this state. And as I'm just listening to my feelings, a feeling comes and then the answer comes into my mind. And a feeling comes and the answer comes into my mind. And you just get used to being in this state. And you stay there as long as you can and honor what happens. So today, to wrap that up, thank you for sharing that with me. I hope it helps you on your journey. In the Sirius Joy Personal Sensei service, I will text you at 11:11 a.m. your local time, the step number you must reach to protect. So there's always a step number inside of us that is the, let's say, weak step, the one that's the creaky step, climbing the stairways to heaven. One of those steps is kind of creaky, and we always are afraid of that step. I can figure that out with your AIT, and I will text it to you at 11:11. And at 3:03 p.m., the step number you must reach and to which to open. So there's always that key step that opens the door. I will text you that at 3:03 p.m. If you would like to be a part of this fun little adventure, you see how I send one text every day, tied to your own personal astrology, numerology, and sacred geometry. Come on down to SiriusJoy.me for just $19.95. You can have 30 days. And it's fun. It's worth it. Give it a try. It's you. It's always fun to know more about you. All right, folks. We'll be right back after this. Can't find love? That day is over. With just 8 numbers, we can reveal all your secrets to sex and love. We call it Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. Find out the secret to your heart at secretsofbirthdays.com. Soul Garden. And welcome back to Namaste Today. And for today's spiritual rock and roll gospel, I really believe that music will bring you into a higher elevation. And if you are not into meditation or anything like that, I seriously believe that techno music will take you in. Seriously. Any kind of music that brings you into a trance really is what it's about. And it's about letting yourself go into a trance. The rhythm massages your soul and the vibrations do. But I'm going to introduce you to someone who is quite spiritual in a classic way today. Antonio Vivaldi, who was a brilliant Pisces and classic musician and composer. I think we've all heard of the Four Seasons. That was Vivaldi. And he was a step 13 Pisces, which means an innovative Pisces, one that really had the electric connection to the angelic side. So today's selection, if you'd like to meditate to something soft, is the Violin Concerto in A minor. You may actually recognize it if you know classical music. But before you drift off into your own world, let's take a look at the moods of each of your brothers and sisters today. And I'm going to be giving you some insights to where you're climbing out of. Where you're climbing out of. Climbing out of those dark spookies. What are the dark spookies you're climbing out of? Starting with the Scorpios. Scorpio, step 0, cloudy and withdrawn today on this spiritual day. You are climbing out of fears in the social world, so social fears, and climbing out of old mistakes of your magic. Step 1, the Leos, cloudy chance of paranoia today or in the next 24 hours. Maybe because you're climbing out of questioning self-confidence. No longer questioning your self-confidence and moving into the stairway of yourself. Step 2, the Cancers. Cloudy, rather spiritual today. Climbing out of mind games and the habit of worry. Step 3, the Sagittarius is cloudy and sweet. Climbing out of fears of the future. That could be a fear of success or a fear of failure. Just depends on what you're into. Step 4, the Aquarians. Cloudy, feeling probably a bit vulnerable today. Climbing out of control issues and a fear of intimacy. So universe is opening you up like heart surgery. Just surrender, you will be okay. It's you. Gemini, step 5. Cloudy but cool today actually in these currents. But you are ascending out of emotional traps, particularly from childhood. Step 6, the Librans, cloudy and private today. Climbing out of fears and old karmic hauntings. Karmic hauntings do include particular lovers that you couldn't shake off. So you're going to just climb out of that. Step 7, the birthday, Pisces. That's the birthday tone. You are climbing out of relationship expectations on yourself. All right, think about that one 35 times. But you're cloudy, nesting, and resting today, so you're set up to do that. Step 8, the Capricorns, cloudy and content today. Climbing out of self-limiting beliefs and theories. Not just beliefs, but also theories. Theories are powerful potential beliefs, right? Step 9, the Aries, cloudy and pensive today. Climbing out of sickness and daily unhappiness. So climbing out of a bad lifestyle. Step 10, the Taurus is cloudy but productive today. Climbing out of broken hearts and lost dreams. Oh, isn't that true? Step 11, the Virgos, cloudy and professional today. Climbing out of pride issues and old arrogance. Times when you thought you knew it and you didn't. So just, forgiving yourself for those times. So looking at the Lightwalker Parade. If you're on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. It helps us with our YouTube relationship, and you can be our friend if you come down to soulgarden.me and take you to our Namaste Today page. And if you're on the Mothership of Light, soulgarden.tv, you can join our email list there where I'll send out a little morning hello to you. And putting out a little more information on the Sirius Joy Camp. It will start on March 21st, and I will have it all available to get tickets, but One of the things, now that you understand some of the states and how they all awaken, is this little camp, which is 4 classes over 4 Saturdays that are video recorded, will help you to understand exactly where your soul is with those steps. I can identify with AIT what steps you skip and what steps you don't skip, and I'm incorporating AIT into this instructional. So you can really clear through your soul and understand yourself in just 4 classes. Now, also, if you want to be kind of coached through the day, this is what I do. I kind of brighten your way with cute little messages that make you smile. But the deadline for March service is this Saturday, so come on down to SiriusJoy.me if you'd like to do that. And if you care to share SoulGarden.tv with your friends, I have new Sensei Sunrise segments for you and them to remind you of some of the wisdom that I come up with and jam smack like a sandwich into each Namaste. So that is a new playlist. But I thank you ahead of time for watching SoulGarden.tv and sending your heart and love. Good luck today in your ascension. Let go of that old baggage and see how high your hot air balloon goes. And post and tell me about it. I love to hear about your stories. Until tomorrow, remember I love you and live, love, be.
This is just so ironic.